Hi beauties, thanks for tuning into Makeup by Ammo. Today I'm going to be doing a request that I received on Snapchat, and I'm going to show you how to properly apply blush. Now I decided that it's probably going to be easier if it's a little bit more technical for some people, and then it'll probably be easier if I kind of break it down to how I learned how to first do blush. So on one side, I'm going to show you the exact proper placement, and then the other side, I'm going to go way back to when I think I was like 17 and I first started actually getting how to put on blush. So if you think you're doing your blush wrong, you should probably keep watching. Alright, so first and foremost, let me just pull back my hair. You know how some girls can like pull back their hair with one clip and it looks like absolutely fabulous? Oh, I didn't do too bad. So for today, I'm going to do this lesson with MAC Pink Swoon, which is a really pretty bright light pink. I want it to really show up on camera so that you can see it, but don't feel like you need to go this bright if you're not at that comfort level yet. Also, I've mentioned this before, but the e.l.f. Pink Swoon is a really great dupe. I really feel like blush is that one item that you can really get away with not splurging. And these e.l.f. blushes, I mean, you can see. I use it all the time. It's really awesome. As far as my brush goes, I'm going to be using the Makeup Designery number 710 blush brush. And you can see that it has kind of a rounded shape when I point it towards you guys, so you don't want anything that's too flat this way. Sometimes brushes can be a little flat when you first get them, and then if you just kind of put it in circular motions, it goes kind of circular again. So I really suggest getting a brush that you're able to do circular motions with and not something that you're just going back and forth with. Your brush is just as important as your product. So let's start with getting the product on the brush. You don't want to pick up too much, you don't want to pick up too little, but less is more. You can always build it up. I'm also going to show you a trick on how you can kind of take away and tone it down, just in case you are loving your brush and you put way too much on. So taking the pan here, I'm just going to kind of brush in a downward motion to pick it up on one side of the brush. You can see a little bit of it on there. After doing that, I'm going to go in this section of my cheek here. You're probably like, okay, I still don't get it. So let me break down the sections of the cheek for you. Here underneath the cheekbone, that's where our contour is. You can see I already have my contour and my highlight on. So this is where the contour goes. That's in the hollow of the cheek. The highlight goes on the very top of the cheekbone, kind of underneath the eye right here. And then in between those two marks is where the blush goes. I don't know, was that weird? Think of it as 3 different levels, and we want it to go right in the middle level. How can I put this so that it's easy to understand? You want it to kind of go towards your hairline, but not towards your temple. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I see with beginners in blush, is that they'll have it come up too high and then the angle of it comes too low and it actually pulls down your face. It makes you look older. It's not cute. So let's get that angle right. So again, we have where the contour is, where the highlight is, our blush is going to go right in between. Another thing that I like to point out is you don't want to start on the apple of your cheek, because you don't want the majority of the color there unless you purposely do want it there. Typically what you want to do is you want to keep the color somewhere in between. So not really close to your hairline and not really close to the apple of your cheek. So let me go ahead and demonstrate for you guys so that it makes a little bit more sense. So laying down this colored part of the brush that already has a product on it, I'm going to go in circular back and forth motions, just kind of in the center of the cheek right here. Now, once I have enough color laid down, you may notice that I did little sweeping motions. So that's kind of what we're going to do in order to blend it out. So when we want to move the product around, we're doing the circular motions, And when we just kind of want to sweep it away, wisp it away, make sure that it looks really soft and blended, then we do the wisp motion. Again, I'm going to grab some more just so that you guys can get the hang of this. Sometimes I also like to use the cap right here, like say I pick up a lot just to make sure it's all in my brush, and then I just kind of go in circular motions on the cap, and that kind of softens it so that I don't have too much product. I usually like to do the wispiness on the apple of my cheek so that it fades into the apple of my cheek without looking too colorful. So again, circular motions. You can even smile if you want to. And I like to go in a downward sweeping motion. So once it comes off of the apple of my cheek, it just kind of falls off. I don't bring it all the way back. So here's me doing it kind of quickly, how I normal speed would do it, so that you can get an idea of what it really looks like. Now obviously, I have a lot on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how you can tone it down just in case you put too much, or if you think you went a little cray with it. What I normally do, because I normally don't put too much, is I just use whatever powder is left on my powder brush. But you could also pick up a little if you did go really crazy with the blush. Just in circular motions, just kind of tone it down. Dab a little bit, and it looks softer than it did before. So far, I really hope that that made sense to you. It's going to take a lot of practice. I remember that when I first started teaching myself how to do blush when I was like 17 years old, it was the hardest thing for me to master. But if I could do it, you could do it. Let me go ahead and show you the way that I kind of learned on my own how to make it look decent. I'm gonna pick up the product the exact same way. This is gonna seem a little crazy, but it's because I taught myself how to do this. I hope you can follow this. So what I did is I looked at my cheekbone, and then I looked at where I could still see my cheekbone as I'm turning my face away. In the little bit of the area that I could still see my cheekbone, I would just lay my brush right there, and that's how I knew where my starting point was, because I wanted to still be able to see a little bit of that color as my face turned. So I just kind of started right there, turned my face back, and just kind of wisped it back. So in those wispy motions, I'm not doing circular. This is how I first taught myself. Just really softly putting it there. And you may actually like this side more than this side. But this is how to properly apply it, the proper placement, proper blending techniques, and this is how I taught myself. So if you are a beginner with blush, I really think that you're gonna like this. And then as you maybe rewatch the video, you try out new blush colors, try doing it like this. So that's it. Piece of cake, right? You will soon be able to master blush. I believe in you, don't worry. So if you learned something new from this video, please give me a thumbs up, or if you like me showing you how to properly apply fill in the blank, then please give me a thumbs up as well so that I know that you guys like these types of videos. And I am really listening to your requests right now. So if you have a request, you can always message me through Snapchat or on Instagram as a comment, and I put it into this list of videos to do, and I'm going to do them for you. Other than that, remember to stay beautiful inside and out. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Bye!